You like that? 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 You like that?
What's going on? It's Coach Williams, and I'm back for another breakdown. So today we are going to talk Darian Porter. If you've been on my Twitter or my X, you know that Darian Porter is one of my favorite DBs in this draft. So really excited to talk about him on the channel. So here we go. We got him at the bottom of the screen. And so Darian Porter is a big corner, 6'2", almost 6'3", ran a 4.30. And so one thing about him is he's not going to be as physical as some of the other guys that we've talked about, but it's not like he's like soft or anything like that, okay? He's very good at tackling in space. So we've got this crack block. This is a really good crack replace. Gets out here in space with the runner, tackled, all right? Minimal gain. Only a 1 yard gain on the play. Really impressive rep here. So we'll see it. You're not going to see the wow hits. He's not going to blow anybody up, but he's very good at tackling in space. And so we'll see it again. Crack block, crack, replace, gets downhill, tackle in space. This is really tough to do out here on the perimeter, and he does an excellent job of it. Very good tackling in space. See it here. Boom. Goes right back to it. All right, next play. So this one, we're playing catch technique here. And so we talked about this a little bit with Khari Johnson. We can see the first down marker here, and we want to keep ourselves on the cliff. We don't want to go off the cliff, okay? So catch technique, he's given a little bit too much ground for me, and that gives the space for the receiver to be able to get open. But it's not thrown on this. I believe this play is an RPO here. So he runs the route. If the quarterback had decided to throw it, it's going to be really hard to be able to break on that one. So we want to use our technique. All right, so sometimes when you get these stacked receivers, you'll have defenses do this. They'll have the guy that's pressed take the guy in the back of the stack, and the guy that's off take the guy in the front of it. So I think that UCF knew that they were doing this, so he tries to get hands on him so he won't be able to see where the receiver goes. Doesn't matter because he runs 4.3. Really good hips for a big corner. Look at this. Through contact and just turns those hips, right? So this is one thing that you teach. So people talk a lot about technique, and I think people only talk about press technique. This is a really good 180 vertical turn technique here. So what he's doing is he's using that elbow. See this elbow here? You want to use that as force and as momentum to swing your hips open. That elbow is really going to help you be able to do that. And you can tell he's doing it on purpose because look at the angle of his arm. Swipes it open to get on top of the route. And so now this is the next piece we want to talk about. This isn't as technically good. So he's playing chest to chest. I think if you've been on the channel long enough, I'm not a huge fan of chest to chest technique, even though everybody else does it. But it is something that bigger corners can do. But I think in this position where you're trying to get back in phase, it's probably better to use cutoff technique and get ahead of this receiver and turn the way the receiver is turning, right? You want to turn into the receiver so that you can try to make a play on the ball here. And so he gets his hands on it, but he drops it. Right? He drops his pass, and I think it's because it's just really hard to be able to see where this ball is coming from when your head is faced this way. If you turn like the receiver is, and he's got a receiver background, and go up and attack the ball like this, probably going to come down with it because you're going to box him out. He's not going to be able to get in here and try to turn into the DB and knock it out of your hands or anything like that. So I would like to see that a little bit more in that position when you're beat and you're trying to get back into phase. But, he decides to use a different technique. Great speed, though. Shows off the great speed and ability that he has. Just wish that he got an opportunity to come down with that one. And we'll be able to see it even better from the tight angle here. Quarterback loads up on this one, throws it. And, this is just a hard angle to be able to see the ball from. And the receiver can be in there and impact the throw. I'd like to see him turned around. But, he's new to the corner position, so he's still learning. All right, so I'm not going to put the clock on here. You're going to have to go on my Twitter to be able to see the clock and see how fast he's getting out of these breaks. But this is night and day from Siobhan Revell. Look at this. Bang. Puts that foot in the ground. Decisive. No extra steps or anything like that. Not taking big, huge steps outside of his frame. Just put that foot in the ground and go, right? And he is a bigger corner than that guy. And he's shown some really impressive ability, to get out of the breaks. For that size, it's pretty incredible to watch, right? And so here, again, you'll be able to see times on Twitter. This just shows off his speed, even though he doesn't make the tackle. Look at where he's coming from, right? Really impressive ability showcase here. He is an incredible athlete. All right, so we got him down here, bottom of the screen. This is a really good press technique. Again, night and day from what we've seen with Revell. Patient, short, choppy steps. Realizes that the receiver's getting too much width, so he's not going to throw the hand. But look at this, gets in face, and now he's using chest to chest. This is a good time to use chest to chest technique because you're in control. You're in a dominant position on the rep. All right, we got him down here, bottom of the screen. Again, super patient, small, choppy, 6-inch steps, not getting outside of the frame. Patient, and then what does he do? Strike with one hand. Right, one hand jam, not using two hands, so that he can, get his hips out and open. And again, chest to chest because he's in a dominant position. And then cut off technique, squeezing him to the sideline. Really good. People say he's not a technically sound corner. There is a little bit of rawness to his game, but he's not more raw than Revell, right? We watch Revell. Revell is pretty raw. And there's other guys that we're going to break down over the course of draft season that are pretty raw. I think his technique is fine. He definitely has some improvements to make, but I don't see a raw corner on tape. All right. Again, here, look at this. Skate steps, right? Small, choppy 6-inch steps, but he's got that wide frame since he's getting this hard inside release that he can skate step now after he takes the small read steps. Skate step, and now you can jam with two hands, and we'll talk about this a little bit more over the course of draft season, the more we watch guys. So if you're either using catch technique or the receiver doesn't give you a move, like you'll notice the receiver doesn't give a move, he just tries to speed release to the inside. Well, now your hips are committed, so there's no worrying about locking out your hips. So you can jam with two hands, aim for that armpit, stay on top. Really good position here by Darian Porter. Dominant position. This is how I like to see DBs, in a dominant position over the top, consistently in phase. Consistently in phase. Really good stuff here. All right. So fast forward here, right? So he's just riding them up the field the whole way. Dominant position. Keeping his eyes downfield while he's got contact. Just really, really heady, good play there by Darian Porter. All right, last play here. We got him at the bottom of the screen. And again, small, choppy, 6-inch steps. All right, mirroring, matching the release of the receiver. And then what does he do? One hand jam. All right, one hand jam to make sure that he can be able to get upfield. Gets a double move, but he's got the speed to stick with him. Just really impressive tape from Darian Porter. He is one of my favorite corners in the NFL draft. I think that the breakdown of the Iowa game, so the Big Ten game, again, I can't put it on YouTube. Got to put it on Twitter, on X. So you're going to want to see that. I think that is his most impressive game. So you're going to want to check that out and come back for more breakdowns. So as always, you know what it is. Coach Williams, Ball Hawks, we fly. I'm out. Peace.